review with that. Now, I haven't seen any other school policies myself.
When was that meeting?
That was the meeting right before the prior school committee.
So that was the last subcommittee meeting?
That's correct.
And you left it with, I just want to make sure I'm clear, you left it with the idea that the two of you were going to look for other school examples?
Dr. Colley was supposed to look,
okay.
he was supposed to look into the policies at other schools in the area so
Perfect.
that we could compare what we have to what they have and come up with something that we felt was workable based on that. And that's how I assumed that we left that meeting.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sullivan.
Well, again, discussing the current motion on the floor, it's to not discuss the policy that I want to discuss and the action of the subcommittee. So I will refrain from discussing, as you're making inquiry about the action of the subcommittee, I'm assuming you do want to discuss.
I'm just trying to make it clear where this policy is in the flow, the normal flow to evaluate policies,
Okay.
which is what we're doing.
And that's what I would like to discuss in response to some of the comments, the normal flow of policy. That's a mouthful, and this is a handful. I searched these 2 volumes of our Westport policy handbooks. If there was a procedure for me to make a motion to suspend, I would. However, there is no red, I don't even understand red line, and maybe it's because I don't have a color printer, but we don't have a red line policy for having a subcommittee meeting. We have a subcommittee that looks at things. The subcommittee has advanced to a point of wanting to share their discussion. And if we don't want to bring it up, that's certainly the prerogative of the board. But we do not have a set policy on how the subcommittee on policy operates. So that's totally, I can appreciate you might need some red lines, and maybe we'll try to give you red lines. And maybe Dr. Colley, who has raised his hand, has some input, but I don't know if he has a red pen.
Well, I mean, this is an existing policy that's on the books? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what is it that it already exists?
Are you inviting me to start the discussion? You made a motion not to discuss it.
Mr. Aaronstein, do you have a comment?
No, the whole statement about red lines, I mean, it's a common statement to look at from a markup standpoint. You know what I'm talking about. Stop playing semantics.
I'm not playing
Mr. Sullivan,
semantics.
The issue that we have here is that you're wanting to take action on a policy, but all I see in front of me is the policy that's already existing. So what action is there to take?
I invite you to open up the discussion.
But it's in subcommittee. I've heard that you're still waiting on information. I'd like to wait for the subcommittee to come back with that information to give me the opportunity to review it.
On behalf of the subcommittee, I'm here to tell you, but you have a motion on the floor for me to not to speak to that policy. So if you'd be kind enough to rescind your motion, we can go further with this discussion, Mr. Aaronstein. I apologize.
I'm not going to rescind the motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. This policy needs to go back to the policy subcommittee for further review. The next policy, JJJ, extracurricular activities.
Motion.
One moment, Mr. Sullivan. Is this another policy that has not been to the policy subcommittee to review?
My motion is not to review. It's on here to discuss. And I would make a motion to suspend the rules regarding any subcommittee activities so we can further our discussion on policy JJJ. So
Is there a
motion?
Is there a second on that motion?
Yep. I'm sorry, suspend the rules of any subcommittee.
I wish to suspend the rules of any subcommittee, policy subcommittee procedures whether written or not. That's how it's supposed to.
Mr. Larry seconded. Any discussion?
Yes. So once again, I make a motion because this particular policy is the current policy in place and has had some, this is in support of the motion.
There was a motion and a second, so we're just discussing that.
The motion is to suspend the rules on this particular
Did you want to speak to suspending the rules?
of the discussion. Yes. And my presentation now is in support of the discussion that policies, not this particular policy, belong at the school committee table when there's an opportunity or an occasion where those policies are not followed. I bring this to the attention of the school committee because it's been brought to my attention that policy JJJ has not been followed according to the policy handbook. So I bring that to this school committee's attention. That's in support of, well, and I would with any policy that I felt was not being followed.
Dr. Bob?
I guess this is the part where I get to apologize and say my piece. As Mr. Sullivan has pointed out, our policy handbooks are substantial, to say the least. For the most part, if you take a look at most of the policies in that handbook, they date back to the 1990s, early 2000s. So these policies not only have not been reviewed, but in many cases, it's hard to find out what's in 8 inches worth of paper, in particularly when they're not coded in a way that would make it easy to search. One of the things we're trying to do is to go through the whole policy handbook, one section at a time, 1 month at a time. We were talking about a policy earlier that was in the part A of the book. For next month, we'll do part B. This policy is coming out of section J.